Forgot my mic. Been an interesting morning so far. So, yeah, we're going good. I was messing around with the um, stuff this morning here in the house, and I didn't sit down until like 9 something to get in here and start, you know, doing the thing for the show. And, taking pictures and just typing, typing stuff. None of this stuff that like connects to the internet, and then I go to try to get on the internet, and it didn't work. I was like, what is going on here? So and then I spent a while trying to figure it out. I was like, what is going on? What's going on? And so I go to, I'm like, man, it's kind of connecting. I'm refreshing my stuff. I'm like, man, checking all my plugs and all my stuff back here. And then if I'm like, man, I should go check this box out and see what's going on with the box. And the box is dead. I'm like, why? What happened? Like, what? There's no power got knocked out last night. We had thunderstorms and all, but we didn't have any power get knocked out. And I wouldn't say last night. It was this morning. But I'm like, what happened? What happened? What happened? Well, it turns out like my kids unplugged. My kids unplugged the internet when they were trying to charge up their phones and tablets for today, so that they would have them. And yeah, so that was fun. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Unplugged. It's like, I can't believe this. They've unplugged this thing. So, and everything has has the way to connect to the internet inside it itself. Because that stuff's when you pay a subscription fee for your whatever have you, and it connects. So like, I didn't notice anything different because my phone is connected because it's a phone, and so did they because it's theirs. But as soon as we try to use the regular internet, bada bing, bada boom, here we are, and it's all working. So anyway, that's enough of that yammering. Welcome to Peace Pat Paints. I'm Pat, by the way. I paint things, paint all sorts of fun stuff. Oh wait, before we get all big, I'm still working on this witch. I've got her body. I'm starting to put the wires in for her body to go this way, go that way. There we go. So the leg go there, and then the arms and stuff come like out here, body right here. So she'll be on the broom riding, and then it'll hang from like right there, and she'll be flying her broom around. So, and then I got some other parts to make another couple of these gals. So we're gonna make a couple of these things. We might start selling them. That'll be fun. So always looking for fun like art projects that I can do. And I really like that one because like it's I'm just taking stuff out of like my backyard and a few other little odds and end pieces of projects and stuff like that, and using it to put together. And basic stuff that I keep around all the time anyway, sculpting tools and whatnot. Anyway, so that's all being said and done. We're already running late, so we're gonna pop this up here, and then we're gonna turn that guy on. So yeah, apologies to anybody that was here and then gone, or sitting around waiting for me, or any of that stuff. I don't like that that's how that went down, but that's how that went down. Okay, so we have a Manticore. I painted him brown because we needed to use him, and I needed him done on the fly. So I painted this guy brown real quick. But that's okay, because it's that brown color is a great base color for Manticores. If you're not familiar with a Manticore, they're like, it's like a lion with a man's face and a scorpion's tail. And they're often depicted with wings. Here's another one. That one has a full lion's face instead of a man's face. Here's the D&D version. So that's what we're painting, is this guy right here. Yeah, almost exactly this guy. But like done the opposite way. But anyway, so that's kind of the colors we're looking for. Tans, browns, oranges, that kind of color. That's a fun one. I like the little armor deals. It's not actually shown on the model, but we could do that. I like the color scheme on that one. That one's fun to say that way. Hideous. They're all hideous. Oh, cute Manticore. That's weird. That's strange. Why would you do that? Alright, so first off, yellow ochre. Like that's gonna be the ticket here. We need some yellow ochre for sure. If you want a color that looks like lion fur, that color is yellow ochre. Get the big boy out. This should look pretty good right over the top of that brown. We may add a little bit of a wash to this guy and then come back and do some other stuff. But for now, let's get this second coat in as a yellow. And we want that pretty thin, so keep your brush good and moist. Oh shoot! I swallowed my spit wrong. Oh goodness! I hate when you do that, and you get like your mouth starting to water or something, and you breathe in, and all of a sudden spit's going down your throat. Goodness. Okay. All right. Where were we? Okay. Goodness. That was brutal. Thick enough to hold, but thin enough to work with is what you're going to want as far as consistency goes. You want it pretty thin, but it needs to. You don't want it breaking. At a certain point, you can over water or paint, over thin it, and the paint itself will like break and bead in an interesting way. Which might work if you're trying to do a certain style with it, or thing with it. But if you're on tricks, that's not. You want it to at least hit here. Clean up my brush strokes there. This particular brush likes to leave strokes, so it works okay for base coating, but I wouldn't do any fine work with it. It's a kind of a beater old synthetic I keep around for these sort of things. Exactly, because it'll get in there and do the dang thing. Gosh, still coughing from that. That's brutal. Hair soon's getting crazy. I'm gonna have to start putting in a ponytail, maybe. I don't know. I should have washed it this morning. I didn't get a chance, though. I was busy messing around with other stuff. Like the internet. That's funny. I can't wait to give them shit about that. I am totally going to too. Goodness. Okay. Alright, let's see. Take a look at it. Take a look at our source material. Alright, so that's going to get that darker browns or the reds, whichever one we go to. I'm going to go like a reddish color. Maybe burnt sienna. At least for his name. We can do the tail in the darker brown. Maybe burnt umber. But his name. Just trying to get the basic colors in here. I'm not worried about all the edges here. We just want to make sure we get some color on it. We get an idea where we're going. Because all these little spikes will come back and black out those spikes. Really just trying to get in and get the fur that's underneath there. The right color. It looks like in the source material, all those spikes are like a black color. At least the super dark brown. Come here. Okay, that's not a resin model. I don't know why my hands do that. Every now and again they just like decide they don't want to work. Throw something somewhere. Who knows? And I'm just glad I made it on today. Honestly. Me? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is the good thing about Whiz Kids. It's rubber. These toys are like rubber. These are toys. These aren't like, well, they're miniatures, but they you would sell them in like a toy section if you were gonna sell them. You could. I shouldn't say if you're gonna sell them. Just say if you wanted to sell them, you could sell them alongside. I mean, that's what we're getting ready to do, honestly. We're going to go to this show and sell this stuff like toys. Right next to it, honestly. Which is pretty cool. That's going to be neat. Nothing too watery. Find that right level. Definitely such a thing as too thin. something on it, you know, you're trying to play with it. I need to get paint on it real quick. So my kids like it better when there's paint on their pictures. So yeah. Slap this thing together, and now we're gonna fix it. Or finish it, I guess. Krista texted me about the thing. It's on yesterday. Yeah, the competition was awful. It was awfully crowded. So we used up all our data. Krista was like, "Oh, that's why we used up our data." I was like, "No, it was on yesterday, the internet." And then she's like, "Oh, I must have streamed too much of Cullen's matches," and I was like, "Yeah, that's what happened." Anyway, okay. None of that matters to anybody who's watching painting. You come for the painting, you stay for the little life things, I guess. The connection to the streamer, right? That's how that's supposed to work. I honestly don't know. I just kind of like fly by the seat of my pants with all of this. As far as the streaming part goes, I do know a little bit about art. I've been doing art my whole life, but yeah. I don't know anything about streaming YouTube. Still pretty funny. I can't believe they unplugged it. They probably didn't even mean to. It probably was an accident. They're probably plugging their stuff in. Yeah, yep. We got it back up. So I'll retell the story again. yeah, doing things, trying to get stuff ready, take my pictures. And I've been using my phone most of the morning, walking around doing stuff to listen to what have you. And then I yeah, I come in here and I start getting things set up, and I go to load everything onto the internet, and the internet's not working. I'm like, oh shit. So you know, I'm rebooting the computer, and I'm doing all the things to make sure it's no connections in here that's messed up. And I finally get through all of that troubleshooting, and I go out to the living room where the little Cox box is, Wi-Fi router, signal router, and all that. And it's off, and I'm like, what is going? Why is this off? My kids had accidentally unplugged it. So who knows how long it's been off. It was on yesterday, so somewhere in between yesterday and this morning, it got turned off, which is honestly hilarious. Especially because they're always so strung out on the Wi-Fi and stuff. Oh, it's good times. Good times. Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It must have been this morning. They must have done it this morning, charging their stuff to go to school. Because when they all get up and they all plug it all into the same area. Because we have a power power tower thing. So you have a power strip. It's like a tower, and the Wi-Fi is plugged into it. And yeah, it's hilarious. I contemplated changing where it was plugged in and plugging it into something else. Then I decided that it would be more entertaining to just continue to let this issue happen. I just need to make sure that when the Wi-Fi's out, that's the first thing I check, is if they've unplugged it again. But it would be very entertaining to watch them try and figure out what is going on. Okay, so his wings are kind of like a peachy color. I wanna, Naples yellow and burnt sienna. I'll be right on the money. Definitely gonna razz the hell out of them. But luckily it's Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of like, my daytime on Wednesday is kind of chill. Try to get out and do a little bit of driving tonight, make some money. I got some stuff I gotta buy if we're gonna go do this art show. Which that's cool. I'm really excited to go do a show. I guess it's an art show. It's an expo, which is kind of like a craft show, I guess. Crafts and collectibles. I think it's advertised as like creative and collectible. I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm happy to go. Wi-Fi. That's so funny. Yeah, man, the weather's looking like it is definitely not going to let you build anything this weekend. Yeah, it's looking like it is looking like rain. It is looking right now like rain. Too many people asking too many questions today. My dog is barking, of course. What a day. But yeah, rain, and then some more rain. Looks like the entire weekend is gonna rain out, which sucks. I had some stuff I wanted to try to do too. But such is life. That poor dog. She sounds so miserable. She's gonna die if I don't let her in. Silly dog. I'll be right back. Ugh. I need to set like an alarm to make sure I get like make her come out. Green onions are entered into a planter pot. Nice. Oh yeah. Once they kind of get going, yeah, you can kind of move them around a little bit. Most of my pepper plants are sprouting pretty good, and I got a green bean going real well. Buy some other stuff in that's already heading towards maturity when we finish out the rest of the garden. I didn't buy all the seeds I should have because I was busy doing other stuff. But these other seeds we heirloomed from our last crop. So all these peppers, these are second generations for us. Which is cool. Using seeds and making seeds, so it's cool. Got about a minute down the street, I realized I left. A whole hour early. Still trying to get caught back up on that. Little chocolate. Caught back from the what's it, daylight savings time the other day. So yeah, I'm still trying to get ready. Get back to it. As per usual with the WizKids models, it gets weird. This sculpt is just weird right here. Not exactly sure what they're trying to do. It just gets knobby and like part of it disappears underneath the. Looks like it disappears under the wing. So we'll just have to paint in those lines again later on. Anything we feel like we gotta redress or whatever. So one of the downsides of some of these WizKids models is it does seem like parts of the sculpts can be phoned in a little bit. They're like, fuck it, and then just get it done. Whereas some of the other stuff with 3D printing guys, they really really amp up those details, make everything copacetic. WizKids is like the official line though, so you know they're trying to make a whole bunch of money. So they have a bunch of artists probably paying them cheap. I should have a base big enough for him that I can print. So I think we're going to work on all these little guys while we get ready for the show. Because I have a ton of these little models. This is another one of those WizKids. This is an old D&D thing. And I don't expect a lot of them that you can sell. But it looked good to have a table full of stuff. You know? I wanted to try to get up to about like 100 pieces, take 100 pieces and sell them. I think next week, or maybe we might be able to get this this week if we finish up this Manticore fast. But I have this barrel mimic that's fun. I have another mimic too that goes with it, so we can sell this. These will probably sell. It's a fun piece. It won't take long to get it all done too. So it'll be a fun Friday project. Because I definitely feel like I'll have this guy finished up in another day. It won't take long. Manticores are easy. Sir, one of the things about creatures versus like characters is that creatures rarely have all the other little details. They're not carrying backpacks and a bunch of pockets and weapons and They have claws and teeth and fur or scales or skin or whatever. So creatures versus humanoids are very different. Like an orc can have all those stuff, so you can really trick out an orc. And then, you know, you can get real crazy on this Manticore. You can get kind of geeked out on it. But the idea is to just get it to where we can sell it. So there's just a level. There's a level we want to be at to do that. And spending too much time on a model that we're going to sell for like, I don't know, $50 isn't gonna. You shouldn't spend too much time on that, you know? And $50 is like the high side here. Like, we might list it for 50, and then we'll sell it for something closer to 35 or something, $40. Dang, One Piece is just everywhere, man. Gotta keep moving it around, make sure you get them all. So don't make sure, like I said, don't think it's done until you've made sure. And this color fades so fast on there that it's sometimes you're like, did I paint that or not? Yeah, it's cool. Sanctuary. I think I may have seen that one before. On the Dark Souls stuff. For me, Manticore is it's just Greek. It's a Greek thing. I'm always like, oh, I'm always remembering from the Greek legends. They have a couple Manticores in Greek stories. And Sinbad, you know, Voyages of Sinbad. I think they do a Manticore in that. I think there may be a Ray Harryhausen Manticore somewhere. Harryhausen's probably a big reason why I'm into miniatures and stop motion animation and that kind of stuff, sculpture in general. Those were, when I was a kid, those movies were like, they just blew my mind. And some of it, in my opinion, some of it still looks better than CGI. They look more real. Like, I wish they would do more skeleton movements like the old Harryhausen movements, make them jaunty and weird. They kind of can't stand straight. Like, part of that was a little bit of the filming, but he used the filming, the way you had to film stop motion to help make those skeletons have that wobble look. Like, he was using the happy little accident that comes with the filming of it to create the right look, and you can't mimic that. It's super cool, in my opinion. Super cool. Harryhausen, I don't know. He just a really neat guy. I just love his stuff. Gotta look that up. I forget to finish putting this page. That's the first way to replace one. Let's see if he did a Manticore. I don't know if he did. He did a couple of different Greek things. Like he's the one who did Medusa that everybody remembers. But I don't know. I don't know if they did it was like a Gorgon. And Talos, of course. No, I don't think he did a Manticore. Oh, that's fun. Skeleton. Little Manticore skeleton. Yeah, he did he was the big stop motion guy for all the old adventure movies when I was a kid. Until they started making cool ones. Like, I remember when Willow came out, which, we love you, Val. Glad you're not hurting no more. For those of you who don't know, Val Kilmer died today. He was doing a lot of my favorite movies. And if you've ever seen Ghost in the Darkness, you should check that out. Yeah, the goat horns are pretty. Are that I've seen those before. Yeah, rest in peace, Val. I know he had been sick for a long time, so it's selfish of us to not to want him to have to stay here, but if he was suffering, so it's I feel I definitely will miss his light in the world. He was actually one of the people in this world that was a good person. For the most part. I mean, everybody has their moments. But you look at a lot of the things he did and a lot of the stuff he participated in. A lot of people, you know, he did it the right way. You didn't get a whole lot of him involved in crazy scandals and stuff like that. Which in these days in Hollywood, that's saying something. You made it through the 80s and the 90s. You didn't have any scandals. Man, I remember him in Top Gun. What? But yeah, Willow came out. And Willow was crazy. I even think Harryhausen did that. No, that was Industrial Light and Magic. Did that stop motion thing. With what was that thing? I don't know. They turned that troll into something weird, and then kicked it into the water, and it turned into like a dragon turtle thing with two heads. Nuts. Willow. Good memories, good memories. Thanks, Val. Really appreciate all you did, brother. Super cool. Super cool guy. I mean, it's not super cool he passed away, but you know, yeah, I think people understand what I mean. Just a cool actor. You don't really get that as much anymore. They're all just like every time you get to where, I really like this actor, you're like, oh, he's been picked up for doing things he shouldn't be doing. Like, oh my god. Instead of brushes before we go to this show. I think I'm gonna paint live there too, so I got a guy who wants me to do a John, a friend of mine wants me to do a John Marston from Red Dead. And then I've also got I gotta get started back on our Elden Ring stuff. And I don't know if I want to do that live or on the show, or if I just want to knock those things out for him and have them done. People should, if you got any opinions out there, let me know. Great people who watch the show. I definitely take your opinions into account, especially with this one, because I'm torn. I really don't know. I don't know which way I want to go. But I think I'm gonna work on Marston up there because we're in Shawnee. It feels like a good place to do the cowboy. It feels like I would definitely get some people excited about it. As far as the show is concerned, like I said, we're gonna ramp up some production. All these little guys. I've almost knocked out like 5 slag behind the scenes. Got a little bit done on them yesterday. And then I started twisting that wire on that wedge. So I was gonna do that. I was gonna actually do that all that work today, but I got bored. I got tired of painting yesterday. So yes, that does happen. For those of you who have always wondered if I get tired of painting, yes, yes I do. Everybody gets tired of what they do after a while. It's just kind of a natural thing. But yeah, there's times where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to paint. Which is a lot of what this show really is about. This show is kind of a really keeps me going. It keeps me like honest about keeping my work up, because I feel like I have an obligation. So even when I'm not feeling, depressed or whatever, I feel like I can get up and go. Like, oh, I gotta get up and do this show. Yeah. So it keeps me going. Which is great. I really enjoy it, and I like the enthusiasm that we get from the folks that watch. Like we get a lot of, mostly the comments are on like the what is it called, reel or whatever. I guess it's a shorts on YouTube, isn't it? It's a reels on Instagram. Anyway, so those short little clip videos, we get more attention on these lives. But I like the lives because it really, it keeps me going every day, every weekday, every day of the day, at least for now. I guarantee it. Unless something's going on, So serious. Like I gotta be hurt or really sick. And I mean, like I gotta be really hurt. I was hurt. I was pushing through that whole week. Last week was not too bad, but the week before that, like any of the shows I made that week before that, golly, I don't know how I survived it. I was in so much pain. That was stupid. Next time I'm just going to the doctor. I'm too old to tough it out now. That's what I've decided. I'm too old to tough it out now. I didn't used to be, but I am now. No. You take that back. You cannot remake the Labyrinth. And that is Jim Henson that did the Labyrinth, by the way. That's the Jim Henson's company did that. I don't know that he was physically involved or actually involved in it. But I think he was. I think he was still alive. Yeah, he was the director. So, I mean, David Bowie, yes, was in it, and everybody remembers David Bowie. But that is the Muppets. Technically, Labyrinth happens in the same universe as the Muppets. So think about that. Yeah, oh yeah, everybody gravitates to the David Bowie thing. But the fun part about it, like I said, the fun part to think about it is that it technically is connected. It's part of the Muppet universe. If you want to keep it all together, and so it would be like the Land of Zorch or Gorch. If you've ever seen that, that's a Saturday Night Live. The original season of Saturday Night Live, they had the Jim Henson did Muppets, and they were not Kermit and Piggy. It was Land of Gorch. I think it's Gorch. It's either Gorch or Zorch. I can't remember. I think it's Gorch with a G. It could be Scorch though with an S. It's been a while since I've seen it. I definitely got some questions. Paint that lump. I'm not trying to. I have to come back and repaint. I can go with them. time I paint it, I'm like, oh no, that's part of the or it's part of the membrane. I'm like, no. After I paint it, no, it's not. But yeah, I like the idea of like maybe the Muppets escaped the Goblin King. That's the crossover I want to see. But yeah, I mean, who would you get to play? Who would you get to play the Goblin? Who would you get to be able to do that? Willow, I could see Willow. You could find an actor to take over Warwick Davis' spot, and you could find actors to take over Val Kilmer's role, and anybody in that movie. That movie could be remade. But like David Bowie sang the music in it, and so like you're gonna have to get somebody who can sing, and that was the problem with Aladdin. Is like the Aladdin movie wasn't very good because like Will Smith is a great rapper, but he can't like he doesn't sing like in the same way Robin Williams could. Like Robin Williams was like show tuning, and so like the genie stuff didn't fit quite the same. It was good. Will Smith would be great. The music was the same, and then the guy that they had trying to sing the Aladdin stuff, he couldn't sing the same way. He just wasn't as good as the guy that's in the Disney movie that sang the Aladdin stuff originally. The guy was amazing, so you can't redo it. And there's a couple other ones like you can't remake Barbra Streisand movies. They tried. Lady Gaga tried, and it was not good. It was not good. I know a lot of people probably will disagree with me on that one. And I like Lady Gaga. I think she's a very creative artist. But I did not think that her, like, I don't know who. It wasn't. It just well, I should say it wasn't nearly as good as Barbra Streisand. And I don't like Barbra Streisand. I can't. Not a fan. But at least in those roles, she was really killing it. This 80s bio, or this Beatles biopic they're gonna do sounds really weird too. I don't know why you would do that. To me, it seems like you just leave it alone. But you know, I'm not a Hollywood executive. Thank God for that. Definitely do not want to be a Hollywood executive. Not for all the tea in China. Mainly because it's like it just seems like an awful job. I guess it makes you a lot of money, but man, you got to be okay with people not liking what you're doing and being an asshole to creative people, which I just simply can't do. If you're a creative, I dig what you do. Not even if it ain't my style. Like I said, man, I ain't a fan of Barbra Streisand, but you know what she did, she could do. If you like that kind of thing, man, she was really good at it. She's great. She's a pretty good singer. I'm not a fan of her, the type of music she sings, but she's good at what she does. You know, it's like Bon Jovi. I don't like Bon Jovi. Not a big fan. Never have been. I know a lot of lyrics to his songs because I've been to lots of karaoke, and people love to sing themselves to Bon Jovi. But you gotta respect it. Like he and his buddies, they put together a band that people will remember forever. Like people are gonna remember Bon Jovi forever. That's not going anywhere. It's like feel good music and it's easy to sing to. And people are gonna really listen to it until the end of the fucking time. You know, is it my jam? No. Am I ever gonna buy a Bon Jovi album? No. But can I respect his work? Yes. looking real Manticore-y. All right, kiddos. See, you say it'd be his electric. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like David Bowie just. I don't know. I don't know how you redo that movie. Like I said, it's like trying to remake Aladdin. You can't really remake Aladdin because everybody's so good. Everybody in that movie did such a great job that when they remade it, you're shooting for. You're just trying. It's a bridge too far. So, you know. But I hear this Lilo and Stitch one's pretty good, so we'll see about that. And I haven't watched the Snow White one, but everybody's already canning it. We'll see how that actually goes. People are just a little weird like that. I'd have to watch it to see. I do kind of wonder at casting somebody in a role where skin's supposed to be white as snow according to Leo, and they're not as white as snow. It seems like a bad casting decision to me. But apparently Homegirl can sing, which is awesome. She can sing. You got to be able to sing to do Snow White. That's weird. But like I said, I'll wait to pass judgment on it when I see it. I've heard good and bad things, mostly bad, but I've heard both. So, yeah. That's who knows. I mean, I like that they're trying to do some different things, but you gotta be careful with some of that stuff because it's just really hard to get. Like the Beauty and the Beast one they did was pretty all right. Like I didn't do too bad there. And there were parts of the Aladdin one that were good. Like there were parts Will Smith did a really good job, and the actors they did fine in like the acting thing, but then they would get to sing and they're just not nailing the notes the same, and it sounds forced or it sounds like sometimes it sounded like it wasn't them singing, it was somebody else singing, and they were like overlaying it, so it was weird. Which works in animation, like you don't notice it as much, but something about watching people's mouths move on screen like that, and it's not. Yeah, I didn't see Maleficent. I didn't watch that one. I don't know. My kids watch a lot of movies, and I don't. I do a lot of this stuff, painting. On the other hand, I do hope all those movies, all the creative people who are involved in those movies, they deserve some respect. So even if you like the movie, just bashing it for no because you didn't even if you're one of those people out there bashing a movie you didn't even see, that's a little bit. Well, that's a little weird. It's a little weird. But what are you gonna do? That's life, isn't it? Anyway, go out there, be good to people. Don't bash movies you haven't seen. So take care of yourself and be nice. Be good to somebody. Be good to somebody out there. They totally deserve that. And people, like I said, I keep saying this. I wrap this up every show. Maybe if we're just a little bit nicer. Just a few of us start being a little bit nicer. Maybe it'll spread a little bit. We can make things a little better for everybody. Who knows? Anyway, you guys have a great day. We're going to see you tomorrow.